Good morning. Welcome to the Texas Real Estate Show. And here we are on this bright and breezy morning here in Houston, Texas. And of course, we're here to talk about all things that are real estate oriented. I'm here with my good old buddy, Chase from Lone Star Premier Mortgage. How you doing, Chase?
Good, yourself?
Good. You had a good week?
So far, it's been pretty busy.
Enjoying the rodeo?
I haven't been out there except for the cook-off night, but it was fun.
The cook-off is when you went?
Mhm.
Yeah. I sort of had plans to go this weekend. I was maybe looking at going. But
I heard your wife's out of town, so you got to go.
She is. So this is my big chance to go.
Mhm.
And
Are you gonna try that 14-inch bacon dipped in?
that's been voted the favorite food apparently.
Yeah, if you go, you got to try it at
Yeah,
least.
14-inch piece of bacon dipped in cheesecake. How about that, guys? Is it deep fried?
I hope so.
Oh, God.
I had
No.
a giant piece of bacon yesterday.
Fat and deep fried. I'll eat
No.
the fat deep fried.
Me and you going to the Indian restaurant this week?
Mm-hmm.
What time?
I don't know. You said two. You said
It's an all you can eat Indian restaurant that she found. I've got a chiropractic appointment, so I was in a car accident, guys, at 12 o'clock. But anyway, so hopefully, Kay's working at the rodeo, doing some work down there. So we'll have to sort our time out. But anyway, back to real estate. Food always seems to come first in Texas. We are going to talk about, let's talk first of all about why are homes so affordable in Houston? The Houston housing miracle. What's your feeling on that, guys?
I feel like we used to get a lot more space for our money. Now, I think we're getting closer to how midtowns or cities that go more higher instead of wider. But I mean, right now, what do you think? Average square
Well,
foot for a home?
it's an interesting article that I've just pulled up, which is through the Houston Association of Real Estate Agents, and it basically says there's a lack of zoning regulations. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I think it does not add value when your home is next to a metal warehouse. And we know in sort of the central areas, Greater Houston Heights, the Heights area, as everything's moving out from downtown, and I was driving a neighborhood the other day for one of my clients. It's looking at buying a multifamily, and the multifamily is in terrible condition, needs a lot of work. It's maybe 800,000, 900,000 for an 8-unit building, and the area is actually old, 50s, 60s. It's a well-kept area. You can see the people are keeping properties pretty well kept. But then, a little bit down the street, and if maybe a street over, you've got an old metal warehouse that looks absolutely terrible for the neighborhood. And then you've got, a convenience store. Well, a convenience store is not a bad thing, but it's just not. It doesn't look good. It doesn't,
you don't want to live near a convenience store.
No.
Not when you've got people pushing carts down the street.
Very true. Very true.
I mean, convenience store. I looked at had 3 people outside.
Oh my God.
With cars outside. So, is that the type of area that you would live in as a single woman?
Nope.
So
I mean, it would be good for you to walk to the gas station.
Yeah.
It's a
You walk to the gas station.
yeah. And
I walked to the Mexican restaurant.
I think the biggest thing that Houston's got going for it is that there's an abundant land availability.
You can go west, north, south, east. There's a lot.
And I think the north has really boomed. The Woodlands started it. Then you had Conroe. Now it's going out to Liberty County. I think you've had the same thing.
I was in King,
Sugarland. But was it
El Campo, Fulcher. And they're going to go to Simonton.
Fort Bend and the Woodlands were voted the most highly valued counties, I think, in the US. Fort Bend
I'm
County.
in Fort Bend County. It's pretty
Yeah, Fort Bend County. And
Drake lives in the Woodlands.
Who's that?
Drake,
Who's that?
the rapper. Drake.
Drake, he sounds like a Clorox bottle, like a washing.
Does he clean toilets?
Might.
Who's Drake? He's a guy that was on a Disney show that played like he was in a wheelchair. Or
Yeah,
something
he was
that.
like in a wheelchair, and then
He's from Canada.
now he's like,
He sings R&B music.
yeah, he's like the most
Is
famous.
he a good singer?
Oh, he's horrible.
Yeah, he's.
But
I mean, he's famous.
He came through Disney and he's not good.
It was on a show though. It was like a singing show.
Oh yeah, he's just very, very famous. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but you know,
yeah?
not at all, really.
The article that we've got is sort of
So,
arguable because it says no state income tax. Okay, I personally would like to see a little bit of state income tax for the roads to be kept better because our roads are terrible. Houston has the worst road system I've ever drove. Potholes, you know, there's no walking facilities. If you want to walk anywhere, you have to have a car.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. There's a lot of areas there's no sidewalks.
Right, which is
You know,
just
and there's some neighborhoods that I've seen that we were driving through and buying some houses. They have no sidewalks.
yeah,
You
which
know?
is just nuts. You know, you end up walking in the street, and
In my
in
community, we have almost like 5 miles of just walking trails throughout
Yeah.
the whole community.
in the urban areas through the months they pay when they first set them up to put the owners in the months municipal utility districts or the PIDs have the option to add an additional tax on for the sidewalks.
Yeah.
So, and then it says a strong job market, which is good, and that's normally in 3 areas, which is technology,
Energy.
medical, and energy. Low cost of living. Now that's the part that I find interesting because everybody says everything's going up, and I can't afford
It has
this and I
gone
can't
up.
afford that.
It's gone up, but as far as
I don't think it
the
has.
whole nation, it's cheaper to live here than it is.
yeah,
I don't think the cost of living has gone up as much as people.
1,000%.
I think it's because I think it's consumerism. Typical example I told you yesterday. One of my tenants rose up, created almighty hell that I put his rent up $25 over the year, which is a small increase. And he rolls up in an $80,000 Honda Armada.
I still can't believe there's an $80,000.
So
You
yeah.
know. But as far as like, I go to the Michoacana to buy fajita meat, right? Let's
You go
say
where?
the Michoacana, it's like an orange grocery store. It's
Uh-huh.
usually for like maybe Hispanics.
Yeah.
The best fajita meat. It's already seasoned.
it's not far from here.
I go to there all the time.
There's a number of places you can go to get that.
Yeah,
No,
there's-
but this one is.
Well, there's like a
Right
grocery
around the
store.
corner.
There's like probably 20 of them throughout Houston.
Mhm.
I've been going there for a long time. So let's say 2 years ago, I buy the same exact amount, 5 pounds of fajita meat. It used to be like $6.99, $7.99. That was like the regular price, right? Now it's like $14.99.
Mhm.
So in 2 years, it's pretty much doubled in price. That's the same thing with a lot of consumer goods as far as these things you buy all the time. You know, you used to be able to get a pack of 20 bottle beer for $9.99. Now you're probably getting it for $19.99.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like $25.
You're paying European prices.
So it's just, double.
I think.
That's European prices around double.
Yeah, I go whenever I have to buy like meat or something. I go to specialty grocery stores because it's still cheaper than going to a regular grocery store, unless you go to H-E-B. If you go to H-E-B, it's still affordable, but other than that, I go to the Korean
Although-
grocery store to buy my meat because
Although it
it's so
doesn't
cheap.
show, I try to go to places that doesn't have processed food. I hate processed food.
We gotta go. Go to H-Mart. It's the Korean grocery store.
My wife goes there all the time.
Yeah,
My
that's the
husband,
best place.
Yeah, she goes there.
H-Mart, that's right there. That's where my favorite.
She probably spends more time there on weekends than she does in my house.
H-Mart is the best place in the world. I can understand. Oh yeah, that's your favorite hot pot.
That's my favorite hot pot.
It's amazing.
It's investor friendly, which it is. I think it is an investor friendly place with a very strong rental demand. I don't think the demand's as strong as it used to be, but I still think it's strong. There is a hurricane risk. That's one of the downsides of Houston.
Depends on where you are.
Well,
You're not gonna get a hurricane.
But the positive thing with a hurricane is if it's a hurricane, you know it's coming.
Yeah. plenty of time to watch it.
Right, and you know, it's the famous question: what would you rather do, live through an earthquake or a hurricane? Well, I'd rather live through a hurricane because at least I know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
A hurricane, you just don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, like,
Earthquakes happen all the time in
We'll go
California.
down there to board the beach house.
Have you ever been through an
We
earthquake?
have somewhere about.
Because you used to live in California, didn't you?
Hmm. They happen all the time. It's not like I mean, there's not like the big ones don't happen all the time. The big ones probably happen maybe like twice a year. But
Mhm.
I mean, earthquakes happen literally.
It's like small little shakes, like shimmers. Or whatever.
Yeah, like this whole everything will vibrate, but when you get like something where things are falling off the wall and you got to climb under the desk and stuff, that might be once a year, maybe twice a year, but it's all the time. It's like flooding here in Houston. But what were you saying, Chase, about boarding up your house?
Oh, we go there about a week and a half before. Once we see the hurricane has a chance to go there, we'll go and board up the beach house.
Yeah.
Like I got there one
Well,
time.
the beach house you needed.
There was probably about 4 feet of water.
Which was the hurricane that came in that took all the beach houses out?
It's probably been quite a few. We've almost
that
been for
Harvey?
25 years. No, Harvey took out pretty much all of Louisiana's beach house. It was Holman, and I think where Harvey went through. Holman, Louisiana.
Yeah, but there was one that we had here that came through
Ike.
Galveston. Was it Ike?
Oh yeah, I mean,
And he took out all the beach houses on Surfside. All the stilts were left. There wasn't much left at all.
I don't know. I think
And
we've
then
done
FEMA,
7.
FEMA came in and bought the land, but you couldn't build back on the land. So
Well, have you been out of the beach house or the beach lately? And Galveston's beach is really big now, as far as how much sand you have between the seawall and the actual ocean.
and a variety of housing
Mhm.
options. Houston offers a wide variety of housing options from single-family homes to townhouses to condos to apartments. I feel the amount of apartments has gone through the roof in the central areas. I really think it's becoming an apartment living area.
I think once I get to the age where I'm retired, I'm gonna buy an
Me too. I've already bought mine.
apartment.
I've already bought mine. When I retire and then, you know,
But there's these
I enjoy my old
apartments that
English sheepdogs, but when they're no longer with me,
have no yard needed.
we're selling the house and we're moving into a condo down the street.
Yeah, I like those little apartments. I think it was like West Summer and Fountain or Fondren, right there behind you, so over the bayou.
Yeah, there's some good, you know.
I think it may be only 90,000, 100,000, something like that.
Well, apartments are normally owned by corporations. You're talking about a condominium.
There's an apartment. It's an apartment complex right over here, and I think it's like 40% is rented out, 60% is owned. And then the only thing is the maintenance fee. I think that place.
That's a condominium.
Looks like an apartment to me.
I know, but it's a condominium. If there's a HOA fee, it's
It's weird. Maintenance fee.
you know, that's what I'm saying. So
But the maintenance fee, which is pretty cool, they cover all the yard, the roof,
Right.
painting, all that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so
We got the.
let's talk about the. I don't know what to make about the next article. I don't like talking about or dogging other companies. We don't intend to dog another company, but in New York, there was a group of agents that was fined for redlining. So what that is directing people
To a certain area.
to purchase homes in a particular area or to discourage them in purchasing homes in a particular area. 3 long-estate real estate brokerages have agreed to pay $150,000 settlement of illegal housing discrimination. New York Attorney General Letitia James and Governor Kathy Hochul announced Tuesday. The agents associated at the firms allegedly steer prospective buyers color away from white neighborhoods, subjected them to different requirements than white home buyers and otherwise engaged in biased behavior. Following an investigation conducted by Newsday, state officials opened up parallel investigation into Keller Williams Greater Nassau, Keller Williams Realty Elite, and Lafayette Real Estate that officials say confirmed they engage in discriminatory practices that violated state and federal fair housing laws. Efforts to discriminate against any New Yorker's fair access of housing are not and will not be tolerated, James said. These investigations have uncovered a perversive culture of allowing unlawful discrimination and violation of every New Yorker's right to fair housing. These settlements should send a clear message. If you discriminate and deny New Yorkers their basic right to housing, we will take action. I thank Governor Kathy Hochul and her administrative for helping address these unacceptable housing discrimination practices on Long Island and throughout our great state. In some documented cases, officials say agents were recorded showing preferential treatment to white buyers, disparaging neighborhoods of color, and directing home buyers of color to homes in neighborhoods where residents predominantly belong to communities of color. As part of these agreements, the brokerage firms are required to spend more than $150,000 to remedy their discriminatory practice and over fair housing. With these actions, we're delivering a forceful message. Oh, we're not going to that. I want to know what they did to redline. What it was they specifically did to redline the area.
Well, it looks like they would show Hispanics or blacks certain neighborhoods based on the clientele that already owns those areas.
Well, but you see, I don't think that's enough.
I don't think it is. Maybe that's what defines a little.
That I don't think that's enough, because normally one of the questions is, well, what areas are you interested in? You know, what area do you want to look at? Well, what are you looking for? You know, and to be perfectly honest, fine,
it's very low.
It's considered very low.
Especially
I just think it's another thing. Well, we'll just pick on the real estate agents with individuals.
Someone wasn't happy about it.
And there's different individuals where there's different, like for example, a lot of these TV companies, that's setups where they're setting up the agents. You know, I'm not saying that the agents were
Innocent.
100% innocent, but what I'm saying is it's very, very difficult, and I've dealt with clients like this where they don't want to, an agent is investing their time in somebody, but people don't want to be truthful to me, you know, and they expect me to, you know, give them information, and I'll always give information. I'll always try and be as truthful as I can be, but, you know, just don't waste my time. You know, I mean, if you're interested, you're interested, but normally one of the questions I always ask is, well, what area, you know, would you like to live in? And then whatever area they want to live in is where we start the search. Then it's just a case of affordability.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is when you get involved in all this legalese, is, you know, I really would like to see, I mean, we've got the comments from the district attorney. One Keller Williams agent required a black potential home buyer sign an exclusivity agreement before touring homes, but showed properties to a white potential home buyer immediately without any mention of such an agreement. How is that written?
I think that you guys are saying that it's redlining, but they were saying that it's discriminatory practices. So
That's what redlining is.
Pretty much, it's just.
Well, that's a section of redlining. That's a portion.
That's a practice.
But that's a
redlining section.
That's, you see, to me, that is a personal choice that I make as an agent.
Yeah.
I think what it might have is it was too consistent of that pattern being happening with, let's say, 50 clients.
Yeah.
They all receive the exact same treatment. So if you were
Black potential home buyer was also directed towards predominantly non-white areas, more than the white potential buyer in a practice known as racial steering.
I think that's probably where they find the problem with most, because yeah, like you said, if somebody's like, what area do you want to live in, blah 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 blah, that makes sense. Like, of course you want, but I think that when someone's going there and it's like, you probably don't want to live here, there's too many white people over here, then it's just like, okay, well, what if I do want to live around white people?
Here's the issue. What I say, what I say to people is, okay, I will show you a house without a buyer's representation agreement on one occasion. Anything after that, I want you to sign an agreement.
Right.
All right?
But you're consistently doing it.
But I'm consistently doing it. But the truth of the matter is, there's some people, all they want to do is to go into the house. All right? They want to see the house. They want somebody to open the door there's even agents out there that are turning around and saying, well, just call up any agent, get them to show the property. They'll show you the property.
And then come back and
And
buy
then
from
come
me.
back to me.
Mhm.
All right. A lot of these are part-time agents. Come back to me. And then, do you know what? You know, I might give you a little bit of help on the closing costs or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's not fair on the agents that are showing the property. And you see, the truth of the matter is, whether it's illegal or not, and I don't mind saying it, there's some people that I've told them before we go in the house, they need to sign a buyer's rep agreement. If not, unfortunately, I won't show the house.
No, that makes sense though.
And if I get there and they say I'm not signing it, then I'll say I'm sorry, I'm not showing the house.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Whether they're white, black, Asian, indifferent, whatever,
Blue, green, or orange.
I really don't care.
Mhm.
They can be aliens for all I care.
As long as they can purchase the property.
But the truth of the matter is, you know, I think as an agent, I think agents should have the rights on who they work with or who they, you know, don't want to work with. I think that's just my opinion. But I think I agree with the one thing I do agree on this article is that regardless what color you can't just do it to people of color. You know, you've got to be consistent along everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you're doing it
So let me ask you a question, Kay, as a colored lady.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As a white agent, would you advise me that, you know, I have a sheet that I have because I'm old school and it's got all the information of my clients. Should I keep on that form what their race is?
No,
Okay?
I don't think so.
every loan that I do, I have.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I don't like that.
That's my point, because then if I have to defend a case like this, then at least I can say, well, I've shown this person, and I've shown this person, and I've shown this person, and I've shown this person.
Yeah.
I think do you think it's making it
Harder.
Yeah.
But if you, like I said, this one had to have a lot of examples or past clients or current clients that
I'd like to know what sort of numbers they're making. Do you understand what sort of, how many people they showed, you know, and what the breakdown was?
I would say it had to be quite a few.
Because, you know, on the whole,
One cried wolf, and then it all cried wolf.
you know, I started off with Keller Williams, so they call themselves the university now of real estate, Keller Williams.
Really?
Yeah.
That's odd. My wife also, or ex-wife, started with them as well. The one in Katy. The Joe Rothschild.
I know, Joe. Anyway, what else we got?
We had
I'm waiting for a chiropractor to break my neck.
You put something in earlier, I believe, about what is it? The Houston, or not Houston, but it said something along the lines of
Financial.
yeah, American struggling home sales. Yeah. The link doesn't work for me. But you put
Let me bring something up then real quickly. We've just got the Trump and the Biden issue sorted out, and we were speaking about it earlier. How do you think that's going to affect the interest rates? Do you think they're going to come down? Because it normally does, doesn't it?
I would say usually the third, fourth quarter is when I would expect
When
to
they'll
see
come
rates.
down.
When they'll come, you probably start seeing maybe summertime. But here's the thing, you know, usually when it's the buying season, you know, that's not usually when rates are going down. It's usually in the off season when you start seeing rates go down. Because in the buying season, they're going to buy no matter what. You know what I mean? So like our pipeline, you know, it pretty much flips 2 times a year, where we're all refinances pretty heavily because no one's really shopping to buy it. We were around Christmas buying a home usually. And then we flip to purchases probably February on until October. So that's usually when, you know, but I think, yeah, I would say maybe July, end of May, July, you can start seeing the rates go down. I don't think we'll ever get back to the 3s again.
Oh, there's no way. I think the lowest it'll go is maybe 5.
Yeah, that'd be a
5.5.
great deal. You know, if you're gonna do a 3, maybe a 15-year fix. You know what I mean? That might be a good idea.
If you was buying a home at the moment, actually, Chris, if you was buying a home at the moment, how would you buy the home? What type of loan would you put in on?
I would do a 20-year fix with maybe 18% down, 17% down, pay the MI off. There's no MI, small fee up front. But first determine whether I'm gonna do a fix or an ARM. How long will be in the home? If I'm gonna be in the home less than 5 years.
How about if it was an investment property?
An investment property, I'm putting 25% down. That's really where you have to have it, for in my mind, for me to be able to rent it out, bank enough profit to have 2 to 3 months overage through the 12-month division. So if the person leaves, I have 3 months.
Yeah, because I've got an investment property, as you know.
Mhm.
Having a little bit of a problem selling it at the moment, and I'm looking at different options to. So we'll basically just end up doing it as a truck rent. So I'm looking at the whole thing with the Cybertruck.
Are you gonna get a Cybertruck? Is that what you're doing?
No, not after seeing the rust. Just everybody knows that there's a thing at the moment where the Cybertrucks are rusting. But basically, what I'll be looking at doing with the investment property that we've got is maybe turning that into a rental.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at options on I should do that because, I'm not going to be in 20 years.
I would look at, an investment one.
But with the life insurance, I've got different things, for my family. Then I think, we can run it, give it a little bit of income, for the retirement to bolster that up.
It's like mailbox money. You know what I mean? As long as you take care of tax and insurance, you're good to go.
Yeah, it would put us in front because we're the property's worth around 300,000.
Yeah. So that's something paid off for you.
So.
I mean, the other thing is I always say is try to get the compound fraction on mortgage if you're going to have one as close to a 15 or 10-year program.
So you do a 20-year.
I like 20 year because you're starting.
Because my goal is to leave all the houses to my kids. Basically.
Yeah. So 15 or 20 year. The only thing is when you're doing the 15 year, you might get too close to where your rent payment might matching what you're paying in your mortgage because the 15 goes up a little higher. That's why I said 20. It kind of gives me that compound fraction breakup that I want, about 75 to interest and 25 to principal, or closer to almost 50-50 when you get to year 18, 19.
Right.
And then the rates are still comparable to the 15-year program versus the 30s. Still probably going to be in the 6s high, 7s, somewhere there.
So.
A lot of decision making over here for you.
Yeah, it will be. It's going to be an interesting year for me this year. Just so everybody knows, I'm sort of in the process of selling my real estate business, taking a step back. We'll still be doing the podcast. That I want to sort of do a little bit more investing and take it from there, basically. And sort of, we'll even start some investment classes.
That'd be fun.
That's what I'm sort of looking to do as well. And do an investment program for one of the investors.
He's gonna get his Cybertruck. Watch, we're gonna see
I can't wait to see him.
There's one in the air and it drives round. I told you the other day. It was unbelievable how big this thing was. I mean, everybody was scared to go close to it because it was so big. It's like it was bigger than the lane that it was driving in. I mean, that thing shouldn't be worried about the potholes driving down most of the roads.
Maybe that's why they got it.
Great, like
Maybe
The wheels were huge.
Everything was huge. It took up the whole lane.
You can live in the Cybertruck.
You can put a tent up.
You can put it and they have it's electric. They have like plugs, outlets in the trunk,
which will drive your house.
Yeah.
If you have a hurricane.
Wait,
but that's the same with the Ford Lightning.
Let's see.
The Ford Lightning truck.
Jesus.
So in my Jaguar, I have those things where I can plug in, and I can literally have like a TV.
Yeah, but you can't rely on that. He's British.
I mean, I'm telling you, it works. I put the car on, start it up. It works. I was actually very impressed. Now I have another one like on my back seat where I can plug it, where I can have my laptop charging inside the car as I'm driving. Works for me. Good old Brits. Nice car.
Well, Indian.
We'll end you now.
Yeah.
So are we all
I'll check
checked?
if there's a good kind. Yeah. Are we good?
Good.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, it was a quick the Texas real estate show, but
He's got his back off.
I will get my back taken care of for this car accident that I was in.
Gonna get his next.
Kate has got a online appointment around what 2 o'clock your meeting?
I have one and we have 2 o'clock.
Yeah. And good old Kay at the back there, she's
meeting
rolling
too.
up to the rodeo.
Yeah.
No, I actually have a meeting right now.
You have a meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does with one of our agents. Yeah. So anyway, until next week, how do we contact you, Chase?
Give me a call, 832-630-7467. If you have any questions about becoming a loan officer or any mortgage questions, shoot out to me.
And if you want to contact me, you can contact me through Google. Just go to Google and do Century 21 Olympian in Houston, Texas. And it's got all our information. You can contact us through one of our agents. They're more than welcome to give you my phone number, or you can contact me through social media at C21 Olympian TX, or my personal Facebook page is Stephen G. Williams. I'm the one with the G, Stephen G. Williams. So same time, same place next week. Thumbs up. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We look forward to seeing you next week.